Welcome back to Central Valley Music. I'm the host today, Mike Briggs, sitting in for our regular host, Batlord Carcass, who's out because he's getting ready for the Hobbs Grove Halloween extravaganza. So he'll be back in a couple weeks. So we looked around for the coolest person we could find to host a music show, and they decided it was me. So here I am hosting. Now, we come here every week. If you're a musician, a comedian, somebody who does some sort of entertainment, this is a show for you. You could sign up to be on the show. It's free to come on the show, by the way, and it reaches dozens and dozens of viewers. Go to our web channel, centralvalleytalk.com, and there's a place you could click that says, I'd like to be a guest. You fill out a little form. Next thing you know, you're on the show. And we're looking for people to be on the show. We got to fill an hour every week, so we'd love to have you on the show. By the way, stick around because these guys are coming up. The Lonesome Twins, and I met them there. They look a little lonesome. No, they look very cool. So it's going to be a cool deal. So don't touch that mouse. Just stick around because coming up now we have I guess I'm going to wear glasses after all. The DeadCynic. The DeadCynic is Mike Diaz. Welcome, Mike. Welcome to Central Valley Talk. You've not been on our shows before.
I have not. Thank you very much for having me.
And what is all this? This is your artwork or something?
You know, these are actually different pieces of art that I've accumulated over the years. I've been collecting since I was about 18. I'm 30 now, so it's about 12 years of collecting. And
so you didn't make these?
I did not.
They all have a similarity, kind of the same greenish tint.
That they do, brother. In particular, I have a fondness for this specific color called slime. And so a lot of...
when you see a piece with that color, you pick it up.
You know, funny story. These are actually all custom made for me. I would get together with the glass blowers. I'd give them an idea, and I'd ask them for kind of the color scheme and kind of lay it out how I would like it. And then they'd send me some drawings back, and we'd get a piece made. And so these are actually all made for me. So
and they were for what? For flowers or plants or something?
So these in particular are what you would consider dab rigs. So these are for smoking cannabis concentrates.
The marijuana.
Yep.
Now, is that legal in California now?
It sure is. So it's been increasing in legality as far as the states that are allowing it on the state side. But unfortunately, it is still illegal federally. So we're making headway. It's been legal in California for quite some time. So thankfully, you know, we're good here.
Now, I would never smoke the marijuana, but if I wanted to, could I walk down the street now and smoke it?
You know, as long as you... So that depends, because commercially you can buy it recreationally as long as you're 21 or over. You can actually get it if you are what's called a patient and you have a doctor's recommendation. You can also do that as well.
And where could I go buy some of this marijuana?
So
not that I would ever smoke it.
The marijuanas. So you can actually find it in a couple of different places, usually in dispensaries or from delivery services. So if you were to go on to an application that you have on your mobile phone, like Weed Maps, you could actually find different services that would deliver to your house.
Yeah, weird. I have that app on my phone.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about, brother.
But now this isn't really what we're here to talk about. You do something else.
So in particular, I have a YouTube channel where I review different types of things related to the 420-710 community.
Oh, you review things in that community. So like you might try some of the marijuana and say this is good or not good?
Totally. I would try something out from a specific company, or even these, a specific glassblower that I did work with. If I enjoyed the customer service and the job that he did for me, I might make a video about that piece and detail my experience so that other people would be able to go to the same person, because these things can get a little expensive. So when a patient is looking to spend their money, sometimes they might actually contact me and say, hey, Mike, I have this much on my budget. I'm kind of looking for something like this. What do you think?
Now, how long have you had the YouTube channel?
That has been up a little longer than a year. It started in July of last year.
Is it getting some views?
You know, it is. We're up to about 775 subscribers, and I think one of my heaviest watch videos was a review that I did on these portable cartridges that you could buy for a vape pen that has about 1,500 views.
Wow. Now, are you reviewing local Fresno stuff?
You know, I try when I can, but usually what it's been lately has been actual products like things that you could find on Instagram, because the folks that did this work for me, they are people that you can get a hold of and get a custom piece mailed to you. So I try and review stuff like that, but eventually I am going to work around to doing local stuff because I think it's important for local patients to know where to go.
And are these all by one artist?
They are not, brother. So these 3 pieces would actually be from 3 separate artists, and the 2 shot glasses are from a separate artist.
Okay,
as well.
and they're actually blown glass.
That they are.
Yeah, were they done in Fresno?
They were not. So this guy was actually done in San Diego.
Okay.
This was done, I believe, in Arizona, and this one was also done in Arizona.
I'm going to handle the shot glass for a
go
moment.
for it, brother.
And was this a local piece?
That was done out of, I want to say Oregon.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. But you like that color.
I do. So as far as glass goes, Brother Mike, it is definitely a color that struck me just because it's so bright and fluorescent, and it's just a really attractive color. So I've always been interested in it.
Now, we're going to get some close-ups of the glass.
Oh, thank you very much.
By the way, do you guys know what's going on outside the door? Yeah, there's a giant tortoise out there, and he was a trained marijuana tortoise, and if anybody's holding, he tries to get in here and get some.
The jig is up.
Now, what was your last, what do you call it, a webcast? What do you call it?
Live stream. So
live stream.
we, in particular, my YouTube channel, we go live once a week, and initially, I made it pretty much just an open forum where people could come and ask questions, and if they wanted to know something, I would do my best to answer. But it actually kind of evolved into just an open forum for anything. So we discuss the cosmos, spirituality, all different
You
kinds
said some
of stuff.
supernatural things.
Oh yes, definitely. Devils, demons, ghosts, aliens, all that kind of good stuff.
So all that stuff exists? You decide?
Oh yes.
Oh, it does.
yes.
Okay, good. Now, can people ask questions live during the live stream?
They sure can, and that's one of the neat things I think about being able to go live on YouTube is there's actually a live chat feature, so people can not only can they sit there and watch and engage, but they can be a part of the conversation and actually answer back, and we can have a discussion. So
It's a two-way thing.
Definitely.
Now, when is it the same time every week?
I usually Cali time, because we have a lot of people that check, like having a YouTube channel. I'm sure you know, Brother Mike. There's people that check in from all over
Worldwide.
the place. Yeah, so it's really neat. But as far as Cali time, we try and go. I would say like 8:30 to 9 o'clock. We start every night.
And after it's over, you could watch it later.
Totally.
It's got to be way more fun to go live and have some interactive stuff. And
I think so.
You never know what's going to come up.
One of the neat things, though, is that YouTube recently implemented a thing where you could see the live chat even if you don't make it to being in the live stream. So if somebody watches after the fact, they can actually see what everybody was saying to me in the stream.
As it's happening?
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. And this is just, in another year or 2 years, this whole thing's going to be way crazier. We don't know where it's going to go. Worldwide communication. Now, we're going to look at these pieces up close for a moment.
Definitely.
Anything else you want our viewers to know?
You know what, brother? That's pretty much me in a nutshell. Okay. That's the goal of the channel, is just to help educate. And if there are any new or experienced patients that have any questions about where to go or how to spend their money or what they're spending their money on, I definitely try. I don't know everything, but I try my best to answer the questions the best that I can, and to at least steer people in the right direction.
Yeah, I guess that you could easily spend money and lose a lot of money, waste a lot of money figuring stuff out. And if somebody else has already been down the road and you guys could share some information, you could save some money.
Personal experience, brother. There was actually a project that I tried to do with the glassblower. I paid for the entire piece up front, over $500, and 2 months later he hadn't even started. And he was trying to give me excuses as to all these different things that were going on, but it's a business transaction, so you definitely have to be careful and watch where you spend your money, which is definitely why it's good to have resources and be able to ask, hey, is that a good source?
Now, are you familiar with Tommy Chong and how he went to prison?
I am familiar with Tommy Chong, but not necessarily. I know that it involved a glass company that he was involved in, yes, but I don't know the full story.
And the idea at the time, and I don't know if the laws have changed on the paraphernalia, certainly the marijuana laws have changed, but you couldn't ship across certain state lines.
Totally.
And they talked him they went into the shop, hey man, no, we're cool, just ship it to us in Philadelphia. And he was arrested by a Philadelphia federal prosecutor, and he went to prison.
Having worked in head shops, the workaround that they found for that is they label all of these tobacco pipes now.
Tobacco pipes, yeah.
Yes.
Well, obviously they're tobacco pipes.
Definitely. We're not smoking the marijuanas out of these.
The marijuana. Now, our guest is the DeadCynic. Any story behind that?
So it was just kind of a play on words. Originally, the channel was supposed to be me and another gentleman, a friend of mine, and I ended up, he kind of bailed on me. So it's it started out as just kind of my outlook on the community, because I did notice that as much as I love the social media community, there's a lot of cattiness to it.
Yeah.
And it's a way for people to recognize that I more than likely won't put up with the bullshit. So I recognize it pretty quick, I'd like to think.
Any really crazy thing come up? You got any really crazy story, supernatural or something that has happened live on the show?
Nothing supernatural, but there's definitely been some interesting stuff. Just in being online and on social media, I'm in a small group that we call the Dab Pack, and it's me and one other gentleman. And in our search for other members, we have gone to people's houses and, met them, and boy, you meet some really interesting folks. You meet some really interesting folks, and there's definitely been some situations. So.
Well, you know what? If you want to hear about them, it sounds crazy. You got to watch the show, and it's what day of the week?
So we go live every Wednesday, usually around 8:30 to 9 o'clock Cali time, brother,
Okay.
and we'll run those streams. Those are usually around an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
Yeah. Tell you what, this show runs live at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So as soon as this interview is over, if you need to switch over to, just go to YouTube and type DeadCynic. I bet you'll find it.
I'll pop right up.
Find the show, and if you miss it, go later because you can watch the rerun. You watch it all week, or
Yes, sir.
they stay up there forever, I'd imagine.
Oh yes, and there's a new video every week on the channel too. So I always try and keep new content on the channel.
Always do. So if you're interested in 420 or those issues or any crazy thing you want to talk about, just go to the DeadCynic on YouTube. We'll be back with more Central Valley talk, Central Valley music right after this.